Welcome back to One's journey of unwinding the mind and, of course, your daily microdose. Now, tune in to the latest episode of One's Journey. Today, I'm going to talk about something that's been kind of, at least on Instagram and in the headlines recently, and that is the behaviors of the Dalai Lama. I first want to say before we get started that I am by no means saying what he did was okay, trying to justify it, but I'm using it as an example to understand what occurs when we seek salvation externally or when we use a hierarchy within the illusion. Dalai Lama, a person that has been highly looked up to, seen as a very spiritual being that is above many of us. Many people strive to be the Dalai Lama, strive to have that ascended master type quality, the Christ consciousness that some people talk about. He was placed on a pedestal. He was ranked at a higher level of spirituality than you yourself were, or by many. Well, when we begin to place people in a hierarchy, either above or below us, that is an immediate flag that you are coming from the ego thought system, from the belief system of the ego. Because from the belief system of the Holy Spirit or highest self, there is no hierarchy, because there is only one. And if you dreamt last night of a famous person and yourself within the dream, maybe it felt like there was hierarchy, but the next day thinking about it, there wasn't, because it was just a dream. And because it is just a dream, it does not hold weight. But what happens is when we come from the ego's thought system, I have said this time and time again, there will be death or separation. And right now, everybody is feeling separation from the Dalai Lama they believed he to be to what his current actions show. And it is because we had placed the Dalai Lama on some sort of pedestal above us. When in fact, if this is all a dream, the Dalai Lama is equal to us. And my question is, first of all, would this be mainstream news if it wasn't the Dalai Lama? And not, again, I want you to reiterate, the focus is not the actions. We're using it as an example that is mainstream right now, but instead, it's an opportunity to see where we place people on pedestals. It will always disappoint. It will always, because it is coming from the ego's thought system. So when we see someone as a representation of God or our salvation, this is what will happen. Now, if this was a random guy walking down the street, you probably wouldn't even hear of it. If you didn't know him personally, it might be like, oh, that's no good that he did that, but you would probably move on. Let's be honest. If it was some small event that wasn't so impactful done by such an impactful person. Another example is of Rachel Hollis. I can't remember how many years ago now, she really stood on a platform that many thought would not support divorce. And then all of a sudden she was going through a divorce, and I think she lost 1 million followers in a matter of 2 weeks because people placed her on a platform. You know, my own personal opinion is she did it herself as well, placed herself on a platform. And then she actually experienced one of the most common representations of the ego illusion, which is separation, and people ran the other way because all of a sudden it was clouded. I don't know if you've ever heard that statement of don't ever meet your idol. Don't ever meet someone in person that you look up to because they will disappoint you. Direct representation of the ego and the ego thought system. I promise you, if that person you look up to has done their work and is doing their work to come from a place of love instead of the ego thought system, you actually may be more impressed than what you thought. What is occurring with the Dalai Lama? What occurs with so many people in the limelight that we have placed on a level above us? Many of them have graciously walked into that level as well. That is coming from the ego thought system. But when you start to see people on the same playing field, you are not setting yourself up for death or separation. But when you continuously see people above you or below you, you are continuously setting yourself up to experience separation and death. Again, It is about the hierarchy within the illusion. When you're coming from a place of love or the Holy Spirit, there is no hierarchy. There is no better than or less than. There is none of that. There just is. There just is. It's a good opportunity to understand when you are coming from a place of the illusion. And I'm not saying to have this laissez-faire, everybody is equal attitude either, but it's just a deeper understanding that we are all one. No one is above or below. So meaning in that, sometimes people can take that misconstrued to like, I'm above everyone. Well, then you've just placed yourself above and you've gone back into the hierarchy. Pay attention to that hierarchy in not even in just people, but all things. Purses. I brought this as an opportunity before, but purses. We've got a Target purse and a Louis Vuitton purse. Which is more valuable to us? The Louis Vuitton, even though they both hold the same amount of value because they are both a part of the dream and the dream holds no value. And I'm not saying that you as a person are valueless, but your body is valueless. Your body is a part of the illusion. The piece of you that comes from love is what contains value. And when you're coming fully from a place of love, you don't see these hierarchies. You don't subscribe to them because you are outside of the illusion looking in. Again, I hope this helps you out on your journey to figuring out your truth and breaking free from this illusion. Hop on the Discord, share your thoughts. I want to remind you again, this was not by any means a video to justify the Dalai Lama's behaviors. I was not there, we don't know the whole story. And even if that is the whole story, this was just an opportunity to see the ego illusion actively in play currently right now. Until next time, remember you are worth it. Love you tons, and thank you so much for tuning in. See you soon.